Hello Year 10, Miss Gossage here. So I've got a question for you. You've come up with a great idea for a product. In this case, this is a dog stroller for huge, big, hairy dogs. And how are you going to know, or how are people going to know about your amazing new product? So you've come up with a great product idea, you've worked out how much it's going to cost and how much you're going to sell it for, but how are your potential customers going to know about this product and its benefits? And this is where we start looking at promotion, which again, it's part of the marketing mix. So we've got product, price, place, and now promotion. And today we're going to look at the aims of promotion, different forms of promotion and how they influence sales, and the need for cost effectiveness in spending the marketing budget on promotion. Okay, so we'll get through some of them today. So another question, what are businesses trying to achieve? So some great advertising campaigns for Heinz Beans, but why are businesses going to all of these efforts? Well, the main aims of promotion, in a nutshell, it's to communicate with customers, but there are certain things that they are trying to communicate. So one is to attract attention. So just to get people to notice that this business exists, they've got products on sale, and this is attracting attention. And persuading customers, another aim, this is to persuade them to buy. To develop a brand image, so to get people to think that their brand, their product range is of really high quality, and that's their brand image. To explain how it's better than other competitors. So, it's very rare that you're the only product on the market. So using your promotion to compare the benefits and show that this is a better product than the rest on the market will be done through promotion. And promotion isn't just for the final consumer of the product. You also want to promote your products to your wholesalers and retailers, because this is a great opportunity for you to make sales of lots and lots of products in one go, and then the wholesalers and retailers do the rest for you by selling on to the final customer. So you can really increase your sales if you can manage to promote to these middlemen or intermediaries. Okay, so to attract attention, persuade customers, develop brand image, explain how it's better than other competitors, and to encourage wholesalers and retailers to stock the product in their stores. Okay, so there's different methods that can be used. You can't really see that on the top one, but that says above the line advertising, and then we've got below the line, and we'll call that below the line promotion actually. So above the line, this is where you're going to use another company's paid for media. So you'll pay a TV channel to put your advert on their channel, you'll pay a radio station to put an advert, or you might pay a website to put your advert on there. So it's where you're kind of creating an advert and then you're paying someone else to display that advert for you. Below the line promotion or below the line advertising is where you do things yourself. So it might be that you do a sale, some discounts, you might give away some free gifts, you might do a competition, and the range is sort of endless of below the line promotion here. So above the line and below the line. So first of all, advertising. This is a good visual because you've got like advertising on phones, on adverts, you've got billboards, you've got TV. So this is where you use paid for media. So what advertising is really good for? It's for the mass market. So for example, if you get a cinema to display an advert, everyone who goes to that cinema to see that film is going to see the advert. So you're going to reach a wide range of customers and a lot of them. However, this is quite expensive compared to doing things yourself, so that needs to be considered. Sales promotions, this is where you're going to do sort of short-term deals, so buy one, get one free, 50% off, big price reductions, big incentives, to encourage like a lot of purchases of a product. So this is really good, if you're trying to clear some stock. It's really good if sales are slowed down and you want to attract people into your store. However, you are having to reduce the price, which can reduce revenue. And also, it only works for a short time because people are like, get used to that being the price. So it's there's positives and negatives there. Personal selling, this is where you use people. So this isn't posters, it isn't a TV advert. This is where you're making a big sale. So you need someone to work with the customer to talk them through the benefits of your product. So this is used for big expensive purchases. So for example, like a car, or if you're buying a house, you would be face to face with someone as a customer, and they would be using personal selling techniques to teach you the benefits. This is also used in business to business. So for example, when you're trying to sell to a wholesaler, you don't put adverts, in the cinema to try and get Costco to buy a load of your products. You're going to visit them and you're going to use personal selling techniques. Okay, so it's good because you get a real relationship with the customer, and you can find out what they want. You can adapt the product for their needs to try and make that big sale. However, your salesmen are going to cost quite a lot of money, and they're also going to want commission for all the sales that they make. Another one is direct mail. This is where you're going to send things directly to people's houses. So you're going to get a mailing list of potential customers. It might be that they've visited your store before, or you've got their details from another company that perhaps has a similar target market to you, and you can really target your your promotion to them, and it goes direct to their house, so they're very likely to see it. However, people often get bombarded with junk mail and they might not even read it and throw it in the bin, which means that you've invested that money in printing it for it to not be read. And finally, sponsorship. So we've all seen this before. So sponsorship is where you put your business name or your product name, and you link it to an event, a person, or a team. And anyone who sees that event, person, or team is also going to be exposed to your brand as well. So it gives a real kind of broad viewing of your brand. And if you can link your brand to a very popular team, event, or person, then your brand association is going to be really good there. However, if they do something wrong, then your brand's going to be badly linked to that person that you've sponsored. Okay, so which method of promotion should you use? So there are benefits and drawbacks to different types of promotion, and one of the things you're going to have to do is decide what's the most appropriate method to use in a particular circumstance. So one thing you're going to have to consider is how much money you've got. So how much money is in your marketing budget, and then you're going to be looking at which is the most expensive and which are the cheapest methods of communicating your product. Another thing that you're going to consider is who your customers are. Is this a mass market, in which case your promotions have to reach a lot of people? Is it a niche market, which means you can find ways of just targeting that group, which is going to reduce some of your costs? Is it local? Is it international, etc.? So you need to consider not spending more on reaching a smaller market unless you need to. Okay. Also, what do you want to achieve? What are your marketing objectives? So, if you want to have a really good brand reputation, if you want to improve your brand image, then maybe you'll think about sponsoring Greta Thunberg or something, because you want to have that really good ethical link to something or someone. So these are the 3 things that you're going to use to evaluate how much money you've got available in your marketing budget, who and where are your customers and how many of them are there, and what your marketing objectives are. Okay, so to summarize, the aims of promotion are to attract attention, persuade customers to buy, to develop a brand image, to explain the benefits and encourage wholesalers and retailers to stock. The different forms of promotion we need to learn are advertising, sales promotion, personal selling, direct mail and sponsorship, and the factors that help us decide the best method to choose are the marketing budget, the type and location of customers, and the firm's marketing objectives. And that is promotion in the marketing mix and introduction. Thank you.